Each episode in this series will focus on a different league. From within that league, we will suggest a handful of young, promising talents, players you may not have heard of yet, but may well be hearing from in the future. We'll be looking not just at their strengths and weaknesses, but also at their current team's systems and their suitability for that system in order to make suggestions for their ideal future team. But bear in mind, our suggested ideal teams are chosen based on their tactical systems and not on their level or quality of play. Today's league is the Serbian Superliga. Bogdan Djurcic is a technically gifted, unselfish player who's been deployed as a central attacking midfielder or an inverted winger coming inside from the left. His technical excellence means that he excels at creating space for his teammates, collecting the ball between the lines in a way that makes defenders leave their assigned positions, then playing a quick one-touch pass into the space. He works well with overlapping fullbacks, as when he comes inside he can attract the fullback who's marking him, as well as drawing a centre-back towards him. Djurcic's physical ability also means his dynamism carries an edge, because he can move quickly after passing and hold players off while playing 1-2s. Djurcic's numbers don't leap out. We don't have stats for the Serbian Superliga's under-19s, but in last year's UEFA Under-17s European Championships, he managed 0.42 goals per 90, 0.83 shots per 90 at 50% accuracy, 0.83 dribbles per 90, and 7 forward passes per 90 at 47% accuracy. But nothing in those stats would indicate just how good a player Djurcic is and can be, and it's hard to rank him on the basis of them. Nonetheless, he's a real talent. And because of his intelligence and awareness, he wouldn't find it hard to adapt to any particular style. He's played as a 10 in a 4-2-3-1, as an inverted left winger in a 4-4-2, and even as the more attacking central midfielder in a 4-1-4-1. But he would suit teams that play as a 4-2-3-1 or a narrow 4-3-3 where he plays on the left, and teams that play a fluid possessional style based on quick interchanges of pass and move football. Because of his movement, he'd suit a side that doesn't play with a false 9, as there might be a clustering of players between the lines, but Djurcic is likely smart enough to adapt. Nemanja Petrovich, who's just joined Red Star Belgrade from Rad Belgrade, is a central midfielder who can do it all. He's equally comfortable with both feet, physically impressive, and has great technical ability. Last season, he made almost 40 passes per 90 at 84%, 2.75 dribbles per 90 at 47% success, and 3 interceptions and 6.2 recoveries per 90. He has a good ability to ride physical challenges, often coming away with the ball due to his good control. Petrovich liked to drop back and receive the ball from Rad's back line, his role being more of a playmaker in Rad's double pivot alongside a more robust ball winner. But he's not a quarterback type of player, and should be considered as a dynamic force, pushing up and even getting into the box. At previous club Rad, these opportunities were limited, but it's clear that Petrovich benefits from greater attacking freedom. He's not dissimilar to Uroš Račić, the Valencia midfielder. He has a good passing range, although his longer passes can drift a bit long. He's capable of driving his team forwards, and he's always looking for the ball. For a young player, he seems to want responsibility, although there are 1 or 2 question marks from Serbian observers about his temperament, and he would benefit from working under a strong coach and alongside teammates who can elevate his level. He would best suit a team who play with 3 in central midfield, where he could occupy the left-hand side and push up aggressively towards the 10 slot, dictate the play, and make late runs into the box. He can also play in a midfield too, but would need a really strong defensively minded presence. His passing range means he could play well for a direct side, but he has the technical ability to thrive in a quick passing possessional system too. Add to that his ability to read the opposition and make interceptions, and he'd fit most defensive systems as well. While Partizan's Strahinja Pavlovic and Red Star's Srdjan Babic are both left-footed centre-backs attracting a lot of attention, there are question marks over both. Both are physically dominant and good to decent passers, but Pavlovic can be reckless and positionally undisciplined, while Babic can be sluggish and slow and may not have the mentality to step up a level. But Strahinja Bosniak, despite playing in a very poor Voždovac team, does catch the eye. His numbers don't look good, but it's clear that much of this is down to how direct Voždovac are. They played more long passes per 90 than any other Superliga side, and this is also because he was sometimes played as a left-back. Nonetheless, there's potentially a seriously good player there with a lovely range of long, well-weighted passes and good low vertical distribution through the lines as well. Bosniak's issue, and the reason that Partizan loaned him to Teleoptic and Zemun before releasing him, is that for a centre-back he's physically unimpressive. While he's listed at 6 foot, that does look generous, and he can be pushed around, especially in the air. However, his passing ability and potential, as well as his positional awareness, more than make up for this. It was very apparent when he was a youth at Partizan, and his lack of progress is more down to misuse than any inherent lack of talent. Tactically, he could be used as the left-sided centre-back in a back three, where his passing and ball carrying can be used and his physical weakness is mitigated by playing alongside two stronger players. However, our suggestion would be that Bosniak be redeployed as a defensive midfielder. His movement, positioning and passing ability would suit this position, while exposing his defensive flaws less. He'd suit the sort of team who plays with a deeper playmaker as part of a midfield three protected by a couple of shuttling midfield colleagues. Zlatan Šehović is another player predominantly used in a youth team, although he played 698 minutes last season for the first team with 5.4 progressive passes, 7.4 interceptions adjusted for opposition possession, 8.5 defensive duels with a 64% success rate, and 2.19 dribbles with a 65% success rate, all per 90. Physically very strong despite his age, with good balance and stamina, he has the makings of an excellent modern fullback or wingback. Despite his strong defensive numbers, he can be a little rash and push on a bit too quickly to shut the opposition down, but his one-on-one defending is solid and helped by his athleticism. His main attacking quality is probably his off-the-ball movement and runs. He uses his pace to make well-timed runs in behind, and overall, he's a fullback that likes to roam high on the pitch, inviting long diagonal passes and reacting quickly. His delivery isn't great from deeper positions, but he is really good in the final third and pulls the ball back well. Šehović appears to be an intelligent player who knows his role well and has the physical attributes to dominate a flank both defensively and offensively. He needs to develop some tactical maturity, and he's certainly a player who would benefit from playing in a system that suits his abilities. We think he could be an excellent left wing-back playing ahead of the back three. He would suit a direct counter-attacking side, probably with a midfielder who can hold the position and clear the way for his overlapping runs. At just 16, although he will turn 17 in September, Stevanovic is currently the brightest talent from Partizan's highly respected academy. He's appeared as a substitute in their last two Europa League qualifying games, despite his age. Playing as a left winger or an attacking midfielder, he's a brilliant dribbler, technically superb, and can go past people with a burst of pace and excellent footwork. He's right-footed, so he tends to cut inside to look for shooting opportunities, but he can also deliver a good early cross or get to the goal line and pull back shorter crosses. He likes to start very wide, hugging the touchline, and so he'd need to work with a fullback who either pushed inside to cover and bulk out the midfield, or a more disciplined, defensively minded fullback who provides solidity. Stevanovic made his first-team debut in December of last year, and while he isn't ready to take a first-team starting place yet, expect to see him increasingly present as a substitute. This suits him currently as he can inject pace and creativity without flagging or being physically overwhelmed by older, stronger players, but it can't be too long before he's ready to be a starter in Serbia. Versatile, he could also play as a central attacking midfielder who would drift left, swapping with a more narrow, inverted left attacker. His passing from central areas can be impressive and he can shoot well. Importantly, he also looks like a player with a strong mentality, willing to try things and take players on without his head dropping when it doesn't come off. He would suit the sort of team that Guardiola likes to coach, who start very wide then push in field or towards the goal line for pulled back very short passes. Unusually, we feel that if Stevanovic gets proper minutes this season for Partizan, he could be ready to jump to a major club quickly. He has the potential to be a really good player for a top European side.